anything else that you're watching just from a big picture GDP economy interest rate point of view?
So we wrote something recently about what we call the Q4 pothole. So basically, you've got student loans restarting, you've got the auto strike, and then you've got the shutdown. Those three things together, we think, takes growth from probably a little bit more than 3% in Q3 to around 1% in Q4. So it's going to be a pretty substantial slowdown. With that said, as long as the shutdown lasts for, a couple of weeks, which is our base case, then it should be manageable. If the shutdown lasts for a long time, then maybe not quite as manageable. But, of course, it's temporary, no matter what. The government will eventually reopen, even if it does shut down. And it's also, fairly predictable. We know it's worth about 0.2 of a point off of growth per week. So you can measure the weeks and you kind of know what you get.
Right. And whatever comes out of near-term GDP gets added in the long run. So, again, maybe the most impactful part of this could be the data blackout. And if we have a full government shutdown like we had a decade ago, no reports from Labor Department, from Commerce, that's where we get what was referenced. If it's a partial shutdown, like in 2018, 2019, I think it was, we did still get those reports. But
we got some of them.
We got some of them. Yeah. Is there any chance that they would deem these essential work and kind of let them still put out these key reports, do you think?
So right now, the BLS has already said, so on the labor side, has already said that they will not be able to put out the reports. So the answer seems clear enough. Now, if the shutdown were to go on and on and on, eventually maybe they would have to revisit that. But, of course, the challenge is it's all based on surveys. So if you shut down the government, do you have the surveys on which that data report is, based? So, I think the short answer is a brief shutdown means that we get the September reports on employment and on inflation delayed for, probably a couple of weeks, but still in time for the November FOMC meeting. A longer shutdown means that in November, the FOMC is maybe flying blind.
Let's talk about what is at the heart of this disagreement between the GOP in the House, basically, and the rest of Congress, the Senate. I thought that, tell me I'm crazy here, but I thought when they hit the debt ceiling agreement that the spending disputes were settled. But it seems like they are anything but settled.
You're not crazy. They should have been.
It should have been settled. But now they are $120 billion apart, or roughly so. And the GOP wants to cut domestic spending or discretionary spending, non-military, not veterans affairs. And they want to move forward on the building of a border wall. These feel like things that are outside of that earlier agreement.
Yeah. So I think
what happened
when we saw the debt limit deal put together, I think there was a general understanding that that was going to be more or less the spending level that we'd end up getting for the coming fiscal year. Frankly, I think that is still basically the spending level that we're going to get for the coming fiscal year. But Republicans in the House have decided that they still want to aim for something lower than that. And they will point out that, in fact, the debt limit deal was a cap on spending. It wasn't necessarily the actual spending number.
And they were not. The seeds of this were planted, because I recall when McCarthy kind of suddenly agreed to this deal that those on the further right of his party were quite upset at the time. And it seems as though from that moment they've been kind of plotting to say, we want to cut spending or add this funding, and this is now our chance to do it.
And, to be clear, this is basically what happens every time. The difference is that right now, the folks who are not getting what they want, and nobody gets everything they want in Congress usually, are in a position maybe to stop a spending bill from passing, as long as Republican leaders want to pass it in the House with only Republican votes, because the majority is just that thin.
Do you think they'll end up passing it with the Democrats on the contours of what was already agreed to?
I think it's unlikely that the shutdown, if it happens, will last forever. And I think it's unlikely that they'll be able to get President Biden to sign a bill into law that has unanimous Republican support. Therefore, I think it's likely that ultimately there's a bipartisan deal to probably reopen the government after it shuts down at something similar to the spending level that was in the debt limit deal earlier this year.
And will it be most Democrats voting for it and a few Republicans, or most Republicans and a few Democrats?
I think if Speaker McCarthy were to get what he probably wants, it would be, a little bit more on the Republican side.